Broadcasting worldwide. Mas Pinabago. TV na, radyo pa. Brings you the latest news update.
Police identified but refused to divulge.
Ipinatupad ng MECQ sa Mega Manila.
Mga siksik na balita.
Department of Environment and Natural Resources.
Na malaki ang may tutulong para sa pagbibigay ng ayuda sa mga
Sa loob at labas ng bansa. Delivering nothing but the truth. 24 oras. News with no bias. News with no exception. This is the new 98.4 Love FM. Radio News Update. News Update. Every Monday to Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Europe Time. Simulcast live at www.984lovefm.weebly.com. 98.4 Love FM. Radio News Update. Broadcasting worldwide. Today, it's a music. Bridging OFW around the globe. Through music, news, at entertainment na dala. Ito ang Bagong Tunog. Bagong Tunog. TV na, radyo pa. Live streaming and digital age. Mas pinabago, mas pinalawak, mas kaabang-abang, mas siksik sa balita, mas lalong mamahalin nyo. Ito na ang pinakabago mong 98.4 Love FM Teleradyo. Teleradyo, ang tahanan ng mga OFW. Radyo na, TV pa. 98.4 Love FM Teleradyo. Solid ka dito.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Philippines, and welcome, world. Welcome to Lifestyle and Living, Episode 3 on Personality Development. I'm your host, Red Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us. Today, as we talk about psychology of business success, and to make sure we're helping you as best as we can on this topic for steps for success and sustainability, kindly prepare your notes and pen to jot down some important points. We have a chat box to source your questions. And for without further ado, let me introduce our guest for today. Okay, he is a corporate business clinical psychologist, certified NLP practitioner, certified hypnotherapist, CEO, CMO, and COO of BIP Financial Consultant Incorporation USA, featured keynote speaker and trainer in the USA, Canada, Europe, Latin America, Asia, and Australia. PhD doctorate in psychology from California, US, graduated summa cum laude. Master's degree Business Marketing Communications from California, Berkeley, graduated summa cum laude. Bachelor's degree Business Admin Management from Florida, USA, graduated summa cum laude. Master award winning chef, trained at the famed Culinary Institute of America, Hyde Park, New York. He is also a master black belt Six Sigma and a fourth degree black belt in martial arts. But before we introduce to you our special guest for today, I would like you to watch this video. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our special guest for today, Dr. Warren Christopher PIQUE. Hi,
Good
Dr. Warren.
morning. Good afternoon.
Live
Hi, Reg. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me on again this week. I think that our topic this week will touch on a lot of people trying to establish a business or their career. And before we all get started, let's run that really quick clip I have about business psychology.
Business psychology is all about the attempt at being scientific in understanding humans. In terms of individuals, you're looking at motivation, ability, and personality. If you were to ask me to select someone for your small business or your larger business, it would be to measure their intellectual ability, their cognitive processing speed, and the quality of their thinking. Strong leaders stay calm. Successful leaders are emotionally stable, more so than others. None of us are perfect. We can all strive to be perfect, and that's fine, but don't think you're going to be a perfect leader. You're not going to be super successful as a leader. You might think so. People might tell you you're great and the greatest, and how's the next person going, follow in your shoes, blah, blah, blah. Lovely. But there is no perfect leader. It's a complementary thing. To be successful in leadership, you need to have people around you that do the things that you can't do so well. So it's about delegating or sharing. Know thyself. It's like philosophy, isn't it? Know yourself. Know what you want. Listen to your heart. A bit of your brain, but also follow your intuition. Intuition is good. Sometimes you can get it wrong, and that's when we help you as psychologists. Don't avoid or ignore unhappiness. If you're stressed or unhappy, there is a reason for it. Talk about it with people. Your partner or your boss. Don't take no for an answer, ladies. Believe in yourself. Do it. Go do it. If you think about it, give it a go. Become a leader in some way if you're not already.
Thank you for that. I want to emphasize the point that business psychology, take away the word business. Psychology is applied in all aspects of a person's life, whether it's business or your career, your personal life, or your social life. It all applies. It's understanding yourself, and then also understanding your customers, understanding your family members, understanding your friends, your business associates. So when you have a clear understanding and you have a foothold of what you want to achieve in your life, it's very, very important that you organize your mind and have a positive attitude. So I have put together topics that I think a lot of people ask questions about, and Reg has those, and we're going to attack them one by one. So go ahead, Reg, ask those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question for you is that why is psychology critical to the workplace?
Very good question. Basically, it helps managers at all levels of the organization select, support, motivate, and train employees. Also helps businesses design products, build better workspaces, and foster healthy behaviors. Through their scientific research, psychologists are discovering new ways to increase productivity, identify training and development needs, and implement policies proven to attribute and retain the best employees. By studying how people interact with technology and equipment, psychologists can help make these tools more user-friendly and prevent errors, whether we are using everyday products or life-critical technologies. Working with a psychologist, a therapist, or a counselor in a therapeutic relationship gives you an opportunity to explore your thoughts, your feelings, and patterns of behavior. It can also help you learn new coping skills and techniques to better manage daily stressors and symptoms associated with diagnosis. So, in a nutshell, what that means is that your business entails not just customers and people buying your products and service, it entails your actual employees, your structure of your company, that everybody's working together and is on the same page. You cannot have somebody working on their own agenda if you're trying to run a business and you want it run the right way. It has to be organized, and it also has to be discussed with open communication in order for your business to be successful. Okay, good question. Next
Yeah.
question, please.
How does psychology work with business?
Business psychology is an applied science that investigates how to make people and organizations more effective. It uses social scientific research methods to study people, workplaces, and organizations in order to better align their multiple and sometimes competitive needs. Now, in a nutshell, what that means is this. Psychology in the business is where everybody can understand everybody, so nobody is lost. You'll know what the mission and the vision is of the company, where they want to be, not only financially, but as far as their branding and their connection with their buyers, and people that like the products and services. You form a relationship in the public in order for you to be successful. That's why psychology is a must in everything that you do. Good question.
How is psychology used in marketing?
Oh, that's a really good question, and it's something that I change and make numerous changes through. Marketing psychology attempts to understand the way that consumers think, how people think, why they buy, when they buy, and how they buy, fear and how they fear, the reason around what makes them make decisions to buying something or not buying something. The goal of marketing is to convince people and making a calculated emotional appeal that can be just what they need to land a lasting customer. So that's what I meant from my last question, was building relationships is going to be key to the success and sustainability of your business. It's not when you sell something, whether it's a product or service, it's not a one and done. You establish a relationship for that customer to buy your product or service, and they love it, and you stay connected to them by saying, hello, how are you? Happy birthday, what is it? You establish that relationship that you're so close. So every time you have a new product, a new service, they're going to come to you and look at you, and because they trust you, they're probably more than likely buy from you again and again over the years. Okay, that's why it's important marketing. Right.
Yeah, right. Why is social psychology important in business?
Well, understanding the psychology of various business practices can lead to improved solutions. Many areas of businesses use tools of psychology to understand an individual behavior, and certain within certain groups. And social psychology may be the tool that can lead to even more efficient, adaptive, and innovative practice. This is what I mean. Social psychology is, yes, of course, it's building relationship, but the social part of it is the relationship that you establish. And if you're going to lose the example of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok, and YouTube, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're putting yourself out there. You're putting your company, what you stand for, what your mission is. You want to establish that closeness to the people that actually can use your service or product. So socially, it's very, very important that you attract the right people to your product and service. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't attract everyone, because there's going to be someone out there, whether they can use your particular product or service, that may like other things about what your business has to offer. I don't know of one company that just strictly sells one product. They have a myriad of products. I don't know one company that doesn't just sell one service. So there's going to be something that, if you can touch the heartstring of a consumer, okay, that may be something that they will purchase from you in the long run. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Yeah, but how is psychology related to entrepreneurship?
Good question. I believe that the pandemic is actually a good reason why a lot of people became entrepreneurs. When many companies around the world, not only here in the Philippines, had to close because the pandemic put everything at a standstill. Now that everything's opening up, that does not mean that you're going to go get your job back. So people become entrepreneurs. In order to become an entrepreneur, you have to have the right mindset. You have to understand that being an entrepreneur, that means you're going to go into a business of your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then understanding what a business is going to be all about, psychologically, you have to be fit in order to understand that you're not working for the man anymore. You are the man. So you must look at all aspects of any kind of business or career that you might be switching into in order to become successful.
Oh, but how does psychology have an impact on all the stakeholders in the business?
Well, therein is the key again. With the pandemic and the people's mindset change, that we have to, if we can't get our job back, or the business we had to fold because we didn't have enough customers, we have to reestablish ourselves. And in the corporate world, or you have a number of owners in a corporation or an LLC or even a partnership, your stakeholders are the ones that put up the investment to get everything going. Okay, so psychology for the stakeholders has to be that you have to make them understand and communicate to them, hey, not all is lost. Matter of fact, I can find better ways to earn money, to bring in more customers, because we're going to approach this completely differently now, because everything is online. Marketing, social media, everything is online right now. As a matter of fact, there were more millionaires made during the pandemic than before the pandemic. It's because people took the chance to focus and concentrate on where they need to be. And stakeholders had to contribute themselves. So if you're on the understanding, if you're psychologically sound and a good mindset, the communication between you and the stakeholders or the investors of the company will understand that we are going to still continue moving forward and not backward. Okay?
Oh, but how can we use the psychology in our professional life?
Actually, there's 4 ways to use psychology to improve your professional life. One is social proof. Social proof is a psychological phenomenon that humans believe that on believe based on how others behave. Okay, consistency, it is a scientific fact that humans love commitment and consistency. Reciprocation is also mainly give and take in the business, where you have to understand because of the new situation, you have to adjust to make sure everybody's happy. And of course, the bottom line is building relationships in your professional life. Now, those areas in psychology in your professional life is a lot more detailed than what I just put out there. Those are general terms and general areas that you have to concentrate as a professional. The relationship building is probably the most enhanced one here, because you're going to lose a lot of people during the downtime. And of course, to increase your business or pick up your business and start again, it takes a lot to make sure you maintain the positive professional mindset that you had before going into whatever the situation is. The example, obviously, is the pandemic. Okay.
Yeah, but do you think the company needs to hire psychologists?
Well, when I got my psychology degree and went on to become a psychologist, my first thought was to be a clinical psychologist. A regular psychologist. If you have problems, you come to me, we talk about it, hopefully we can solve it. However, I was also still doing business during that time. I was a business consultant, I was a realtor, and I was a mortgage loan officer. I was in real estate. And then I found more and more people were depressed and not sure of where they're going. And then I applied my knowledge as a doctor to help them out, to put them back into the mindset. So I come to find out there are a lot of corporations, even during that time, hire psychologists within their company. So I decided to subcontract myself to find out if, in fact, a psychologist is really needed in a company or a business. And lo and behold, I was so busy. You go in, they wanted me to attack first the organization, meaning you look at the employees, what's troubling them. Why are my good employees not doing as well as they were before? What are the mental setbacks of good employees versus bad employees? How do we keep the good ones? How do we get rid of the bad ones and or improve the bad ones' attitude and their mindset within the organization? Then they had me take a look at their marketing, how they are selling, the psychological reasons for them selling and how they're selling, and then the psychological reasons why their customers or their prospects would buy their product or service, how they buy, when they buy, what kind of marketing and backing. It comes down to what color you use on your advertising, the content and the copywriting that's in your all that is based on psychology. So the importance of having a psychologist in your business is very, very important. Now, I'm not saying hire an expensive psychologist to come on and bring them on. However, just like me and everybody else, we can be hired on a subcontract basis. We take it, we formulate a report for you and give you the steps so you can continue without hiring me on full time. So I'm always scrutinizing, hey, you're not in a good mood today, get back in the positive mind. I would love to do that. Some companies would love me to do that as well, but it becomes redundant and I can things over and over again. But it's up for the company, the employees, and your market to adjust, and you do reactionary measures within the organization and with your prospects and your marketing.
Oh, so is it really a must that some of the company really needs to have psychologists in their company? How the business use psychology to entice their customers?
I touched on that just a minute ago, and the way psychology works is this. There are certain words, covert words, that most companies use, and I'll give you an example of that in a second. There's also colors. There's certain colors. Blues are cool, inviting. Warm colors are red and orange and yellow. It just depends on what your product and service is, and it has to match. When you touch people with sight, those warm colors actually invites them or entices them to take a look at your products and even buy. Now, as far as the content and the writing is concerned, there are certain words, and I'll give you 3 examples of words that, if you really listen carefully, are used a lot with your top companies. I'm talking about Pepsi or Coca-Cola or McDonald's, whatever the company is, they use these particular words. And the first word is a very, very strong word that people, it's a natural given. People don't think in words, they think in images. So the first word is imagine. And I'll use an example sentence after you tell you these first three words. So the first word is imagine, because if I tell you right now to think about a pink elephant wearing a tutu dancing a ballerina, you're not going to be thinking about the word elephant or pink elephant. You'll be picturing in your mind, imagining in your mind this big pink elephant dancing around like a ballerina. Okay, so that's the very strong word is called imagine, named imagine. The second word is picture. So when you're telling a person to picture something, they're actually formulating the picture or scene that you're going to be in using a certain product or service. And then the last word is actually a question word. And the word is how. So, it's how will this product or service benefit me in my life? So in a sentence, it's like, imagine eating Jollibee chicken, okay, and picturing yourself so fully satisfied, and you're wondering how Jollibee makes such great tasting fried chicken. You see, that just this content and that type of words entices people to say, you know what? I want Jollibee fried chicken. Let's go get some. Okay, so that's how psychology works in the business. So take your product, take your service, analyze it, or ask a psychologist, or ask a marketing person that has some psychology background, how best to entice your customers using that type of mindset. Okay? Very good question.
Yeah, there's a question over here from Callie. Okay, Callie Manzano. Hi, Doctor. Good morning. Welcome again here at 98 FM Teleradio. My question for you, seeing the trends of people right now on different social media platforms, would you think the new normal idea and digital marketing are great opinion to business to advertise? Those it necessary still to review the target audience, or let's just go with the flow on base on the trend. Should I focus to online sales targeting or continue to focus offline sales? Yeah, actually, Kali have so many questions about. So which
But
question?
she's in the right track of all her questions. It's all about psychology and business and marketing and creating more interest and listeners and prospects and buyers. And it's right. The last two parts of the question: should I continue online marketing or should I continue offline marketing? And the answer to both those questions is yes. You must continue online marketing as well as you do your offline. However, online marketing, the advantages, your outreach is more. You can reach, thousands to millions of people for a very low cost, and a lot of times can be free. Okay, if it's done properly. Offline, talking to people, making phone calls, posting signs, passing out flyers also has an impact, because if you have a good frontline salespeople that actually can talk about your product and service to people to gauge their emotions. And because, you have to understand, people buy with emotions. They don't just buy because they see something. They buy something because they want something that's going to help solve a problem. So, it's important. Can you pop up that question? Because I want to make sure I covered the first part of that again. Can you pop that up again? The social media platforms with the new normal that we're going on to, okay, you can drop that. As I said, with and I love TikTok, that's just kind of new on the marketplace. And of course, we've always had Facebook, and we've always had Twitter, we've always had Instagram, and there are a number of other sites that are bringing in more ways of connecting with people with entertainment and with information. So, it is a must that you use them all. Okay. I'm going to mention really quickly. I was on a radio show last night out of New York. It's a radio podcast, but they're actually a radio station that reaches out to over 400 million listeners on a daily basis. So, me speaking for a few minutes, did that draw any interest, uh, uh, or did it draw people to really listen? Had a 9.7 out of 10 rating, and I reached over 2 million listeners that are interested in the next topic that I'm going to cover with that show. I'm going to continue because I'm getting hit by other radio shows, TV shows, etc. from the US. So, yes, you need to do every avenue. Using a podcast like this, using all those social media platforms is important. And here's another key. You must establish a real website for yourself too. .com is very, very powerful. And the reason why I say that is that because you have to have a platform that's going to capture all your leads and your prospects, even if it's an interest. Hey, you like my site? Thank you for coming to my website here. Before I give you that information, please leave your name, your contact number, and your email address. Boom, you have a lead. And you can imagine on a 24-hour basis, you can capture probably 500 to 5,000 people daily. Okay, so if you work that out in the business statistical area, it is 1.5 to 2% is what you're actually going to sell to. So if I'm talking about 400 million people, if every one of them was going to listen, I would have 4 million new customers by the end of the month. But that's not reality. The reality is those people that stay tuned for the whole show, I will probably capture 10% of 1% of that. Or in other words, maybe only 4,000 new customers at that point. So think about that. If you could reach, a million, 2 million people at 1.5 to 2% of that, with your social media, your platforms and digital marketing, and your offline contacting people by flyers, posting billboard signs, etc., then you could have a following. If you're running a podcast or a radio show, or you're doing business with your product or service, you could pick up anywhere from, I would say, 3,000 to 5,000 people per month. And the question is, for me, is can you handle that kind of business? All right. Hiring a psychologist will help you develop the right content, the right marketing strategies that you will need to entice and bring in thousands, and I'm talking thousands, not hundreds, thousands of new prospects and new leads for your business from day one. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I hope that answers your question.
All right. What is the relationship between psychology and marketing?
Okay, that's a kind of, it's a defining question. Marketing is marketing. Marketing means you get your target audience, your demographics, your age group, the occupation, the income. Okay, so those are your marketing aspects of marketing. Psychology, working with gives you the enhanced ability to make sure that your target audience is in the right mindset for your product or service that you're offering. If you don't have that, then it doesn't really work that well. Now, marketing, if you just do strictly marketing, it will no doubt bring in the customers that you need. The amount of customers you want, and or more importantly, is it the right type of customers that you're bringing in? Because you could be wasting a lot of money trying to market out to millions of people where only maybe 300,000 is actually your target marketing. That's where psychology works in with the marketing, so it can feed through and filter out the right prospects for your business. I saw Kelly had another question. Pop it up there.
Oh, there's another question. Okay, there. Okay, can you read that, Dr. Warren?
Go ahead, read it for me, Reg. I'm old. I have to put my focus on.
Okay, most businesses right now seek advice to psychologists regarding how they run business. This pandemic situation gives up the challenge how we can entice the customer by showing a good display of pictures, site links, very helpful headlines and description for us to encourage our customers to patronize our product. The digital marketing brought a big impact through social media influencers. Pandemic innovates the mindset of business owners from simple strategy to more enticing one.
Okay, so if you the question is whether I agree with your statement, of course, 100%.
Mhm.
Um, but there's an inner question with all that information, that statement Kelly brought up. The inner question is, you know, say you have the right copyright and the right marketing and everything looks good online. What is going to be the most important question is, what is the CTA, or the call to action? I can make everything look great on my website, and all the writing and the ads look really good. What's going to make me as a consumer take action to say, yes, I want to know more information. Yes, okay, I'll sign up for your subscription. Oh, yes, I want more information. Here's my information. Here's my name. Here's my phone number. So the CTA, the call to action within your marketing, is going to be very, very important, and it is very competitive. Here's my note on that, which has helped a myriad, and probably hundreds of thousands of my customers, of business customers, that ask me what they can do, because they hire all these marketing people, copyright people, and these are experts. And to have the right words, have the right colors, have the right product pictures and everything looks great. However, customers still don't take action. They don't say, okay, I'd like to know more information. So they give them information. So you capture that prospect. There's not enough there. But here's the trick that I've been helping people for the past 10 years now. It used to be that if you could open up your website, or you open up your promo, that you would ask survey questions. So you would take a survey, and people would answer questions, and then you get back to them, and et cetera. That used to work very well. People love survey. They would take it, and and it makes them do a call to action, so you can give them information and you can follow up. But now people get smarter. They don't get dumber. Okay, so they see the survey and now as a new marketing technique. Now the new marketing technique is kind of like that in a similar way, whereby instead of asking survey questions, you would ask a quiz, or offer a quiz. You offer a quiz of 10 questions, no more than that. So you ask them these certain questions, and it's scoreable. So when they answer the questions, they score, and you say, well, I will get back to you tomorrow or within 24 hours with your score, and evaluate how you got that score and where you're at with your business, in relation to their product or service. What that does is the people think, oh, I wonder what I scored. Curiosity, number one. Okay. Number two is, did I score enough, or what is it that's going to help my business? So that's another thing to think about. And third is, they're wondering, maybe their product or service could help me out. I want more information. So they're thinking about that in all threefold. So the idea is this: you do your promo, you do the dish mark, you do the right things, your promo looks good, your ad copy is excellent. However, you must insert some kind of CTA, or call to action, for your consumer or your prospect, in order for them to start the engagement, start the interaction from the first time they open your website, or first time they see your Facebook, the first time that they listen to you, or whatever the ad or whatever product or service that you're offering. They need to know here's how I became successful and made lots and lots and lots of money. I use WIFM, WIIFM. What's in it for me? And me is the customer. Oh, and then I wrote a book on that, and I'm republishing it because I'm upgrading to be updated for these current times. And then the other book that I'm tying into that is called The Art of Empathy. Understanding your customers, putting yourself in their shoes, makes you be able to ask the correct quiz type questions to touch them, okay, emotionally. Because when you touch them emotionally, they will take action, because it makes it seem like you, as a business owner, understands them personally. Don't make it generic. Make it a personal type of quiz. Yes.
How,
You're going to find that people will buy emotionally. Like me, I get emotional when I go to the grocery store and I say, well, I'm only supposed to pick up toilet paper and milk and bread, but emotionally, I want 2 candy bars, a 6-pack of beer, 2 liters of Pepsi, and that will make me emotionally happy when I get home.
Yes, I know, Doctor, that we have still lots of topics to talk about, but
Yeah.
before, let's have a break. Stay tuned.
Minsa'y natuwa ang may likha, 7,000 pulo ang ginawa. Mga hiyas na inilatag sa malasudlang dagat. At ang bayan niyang pinili, nasa dulo ng bahaghari. Kaya 1,000 kulay nangangakit kumakaway. Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas, kapulo ang kwintas ng perlas. Piliin mo, yakapin mo, kayamanan niyang litas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas. Kasayahang di mapatid, ramdam sa bawat awit. Sama silisig lang indak, mga puso'y lumilipad. Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas, kapulo ang kwintas ng perlas. Piliin mo, yakapin mo, kayamanan niyang likas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas. At ang ngiti ng may kapal, taglay ng bawat nilalang. May lambing na dumuduyan sa buong pakiramdam. Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas, kapulo ang kwintas ng perlas. Piliin mo, yakapin mo, kayamanan niyang likas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas. Dito ay itinadhana, araw, buwan at mga tala. Ganap na magniningning, kailan may di magdidilim.
Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about. Suitcase in the house, put the party's out. First choice, first love, if you ask the crowd. Come on, shout it out. Everybody's gonna dance to this. I see the whole world party in the Philippines. Now with Angelique, info bueno on the TV screen.
This is like a samba, from New to Manila with the hitting and drums. Yeah, shake it up and dance it like no more drama. And check, we're gonna choose Philippines, throwing a dot. The world keeps talking, but we ain't walking. We keep on dancing, that's how we rock it. 7,107 islands of beauty, pieces of heaven.
Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas. 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 Kapulo ang kwintas ng perlas. Piliin mo, yakapin mo, kayamanan niyang likas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas.
back, Dr. Warren. Yeah.
Hi, I'm glad. I like that commercial. I wish I knew more about the Filipinos than I do.
Yes.
Listen, I want to make a quick statement here before we move on to the next question
Mhm.
here. I mentioned before that, a company or business can hire the best marketing people,
Mhm.
copywriters, etc. Make it look good, great website, etc. And you believe that it's going to bring in, and say it does bring in the customers, enough customers that you're talking about. But the
Mhm.
real question is whether or not, whether or not it's really having a real impact. Are people really taking action on what you're advertising? There
Mhm.
is a guaranteed way to make sure that's happening. You know, a lot of businesses just on a wing and a prayer, they said, well, God, I hired all these professionals. They put it together. I hope it brings in enough customers. But what if it doesn't? If it does, great. But most time it doesn't. And then there's reasons for that. Because the owner that hired these people are enamored. They get so impressed. Oh, that looks so good. I am going to have millions of customers now.
Mhm.
And this work great. Then all of a sudden, not so many people are
Some
taking.
people, yes.
Here's what you need to do. You need
Oh.
to carry the point a step further than that. Once you
Mhm.
have everything in place and set, you need to go out physically and I don't mean physically. I mean you need to ask people that you don't know with an unbiased opinion. Please take a look at my website. I want to know what you think.
Mhm.
When
Yes.
you do an opinion survey, which is okay to do surveys this way, ask your people, your friends, your family, your business associates, open up your website or open up your advertising, open up your promo, wherever it is, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram, have them open up and then you want them to give you their first exact impression in
Mhm.
the first 7 to 10 seconds. If it's not captivating enough to make them stay tuned to the rest of your promo, to the rest of your video, to the rest of whatever your landing page is, there's something wrong. The first 7 to 10 seconds is critical, whether it's reading it or seeing a video or the right colors, whatever. If it's not enough to hook them, to really bring them in, more work needs to be done. When you can survey 10 to 20 people, 30 people out there to do, and where 80 to 95% of them, it's all positive, everything's going to hook, boom, that's the time you run it. Because if you run it too early and it doesn't do anything because you're paying for ad space or whatever it is, it's a waste of money.
Mhm.
So the best thing to do if you're going to spend all that kind of money and effort and marketing before you make it active, before you launch it, you get people to take a look at it and give an honest opinion and reaction right away. As I said, 80% plus, boom, run it because you just talked to 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. Now imagine if it's 1,000 people and you get 80%, that means 800 people would be interested to continue to learn about your product and services. And more than likely, 10 or 15% will buy. That's where you need to be in your business. But everything else, the fluff and all the good things that looks good on your website and your promos, everything won't mean a thing if people don't take action. Okay, that's the point I wanted to make. I hope everybody understands that. Another
Well,
thing, real quick, Reg,
yes.
if people,
Uh,
if
yeah.
people would like,
What
if
what is the
would like
role?
to have me take a look at their business and give them an impression, because I don't know you, I will open up your website. I will
Mhm.
open up your promo and I will take a look at it and I will give you my summary opinion of
Mhm.
whether or not it should or should not work. And it'll help you out. And I do this for free. So just let me know, contact the station. They can give you my contact information. Okay. I have another question from Eduardo Bonto.
Okay, there you are from Eduardo Bonto. Okay, Dr. Warren, does the overall business psychology always guarantee the success of a business company? Or will it depend on the people behind the business psychology or both? Why? And thank you and God bless. Yeah. So that's a
Well,
question.
Eduardo, business psychology, nothing's a guarantee in life. There's only one guarantee in life is that you're going to, soon enough, everybody's going to die. That's the only guarantee that I can give anyone in life. Business is the highest risk, okay? However, it's the most profitable way to earn a living, which is, to be in business, okay? Business psychology is a tool that only helps a business improve in all areas. Internally, meaning employees, management, even owners, and externally, your marketing, your prospects, your customers, your clients. Okay, so yes, will it depend on the people behind the business psychology? Yes. Will it depend on people in your company? Yes. Will it depend on your customers? Yes. Okay. Why? It's easy to see why. If you do not understand your customers, and psychologically, that's where a psychologist can help you. I would take a look, as a psychologist, I would take a look at your product or service. Then I would determine with you and ask you certain questions. Who is your target market? If it's a certain age group, certain income group, let me take a look on how you want to get that particular customer, that particular prospect. And I'll say to you, all right, Eduardo, here's your business, or anyone, here's your business. You have a target market. I understand that. This is your product, this is your service. I understand it. I understand that. Okay. Now I'm going to play your customer or prospect. And I'm going to open up your website, or it just happens to pop up. You know how you watch YouTube and all of a sudden an ad pops up, or wherever you're at, an ad pops up, even TikTok, an ad, whatever it is, Instagram, ad pops up. Is that ad pop up enough to make me take action? Is what you're promoting enough for me to say, oh, wow, that's amazing. I want to know more. Is your way of marketing and understanding your customers being done the right way? Now, even if it's not done the right way in the beginning, you work on it until you find the right way. Because once you find the right way, you're bringing in lots and lots of customers, okay? It's going to work great. You're going to be making lots of money. But even if you have a way that's bringing in lots of customers, there's going to be an eventual time where it's going to take a dip down. That means you've saturated the market with your ad and your promo that everybody knows that, oh, yeah, I've seen that, and turn away. So at that point, you need to catch that. If you have a good marketing team, a good psychologist behind you, they will help you catch the trend of what's going on in the market for your product and service. So that way it doesn't dip down. As a matter of fact, you said, everybody's enjoying this great promo for my product and service. Guess what? I have a new promo, and it picks them back up again. So you can make it a gradual increase, or at least it'll level out so it does not dip. You want to prevent that. Okay, so there's a lot of strategy behind marketing and the psychology of marketing and the psychology of business. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, but by the way, what is the role of business psychologists?
A role of a psychologist in a business, if we're just talking about business, is to help the owners evaluate their business internally with their employees and their staff. Okay, that's the psychologist. That's why psychologists are in a business if they're hired as one. The psychologist, on the other hand, for your business, in particular your business marketing, for the particular product or service that you offer, will help them understand that when you have a product, you just don't put it out there in front of TV or show it to, but if it's dusty, it's not, shiny and clean and looking really good. If you don't do that, who's going to buy it? So, the psychology behind that is, hey, make it look clean, make it look nice, have the right angle, make it so that when I look at your product and services, I say to myself, I want one. Okay. So is your product or service saying that to people? Telling people, hey, this is what I have. Do you want it? I don't know. I think you want it. And they're saying, no, I want it. with the right copy, the right psychological content and copywriting with your ads and promos, you can make them say, hey, the key in my success to all the businesses I have, besides being a psychologist, is to promote something so much or so badly that makes the customer beg you for the product no matter how much it costs. Okay, no matter how much it costs. Because you're going to make it something, and you give them all these things, all these benefits and all these advantages, and they're salivating, they say, hey, I want one. Then all of a sudden, abruptly, I might say, you know what, I don't think this is good for you. Maybe it's wrong, or, maybe I'm just wasting your whole time. This is not going to be good. Oh, no, sir, no, I want one. I don't care how much it costs, I want it. You see, when you can get that idea or that type of attitude in your prospects and customers, oh my goodness. Okay, when I talk to my life coaching student that reaches that pinnacle, I'm talking to the next millionaire that I've helped create. Okay, what else?
There's a question here from our televiewer, but it's only Facebook user.
Okay.
Dear Dr. Doc Warren, Christopher PIQUE, with high respect, what is the best techniques handling adult negative behavior?
All right. Your adult negative behaviors is an internal concern that they're dealing with. When somebody has those types of issues of concern and they come across as negative, what they're saying to you or to anyone is that, look, I don't care what everybody else says, I don't think it worked. Everything is negative for them. So, because they're dealing with something internally, something is disturbing them internally. It's not something that's personal towards you unless it is envy or jealousy. Okay. So those are the things that negative people are not born negative. They're negative because certain things has happened to them either currently or recently, or they have been told that in 2 weeks you're not going to have a job. There are a lot of negative things that comes out in a person. And unless you ask them, they're not going to tell you. They're just going to be negative towards you. Now, how do you handle that? Okay, that's the big question. How do you handle somebody that's in that negative mode? One thing is use empathy. You might say, so you know what, Joe, Mike, Mary, I don't know what's going on. I can understand you might be troubled. Is there something you'd like to talk about? Okay. Instead of trying to combat them and argue about the point that they were trying to make with your discussion, get off of that because there's something else going on. Because there's no use in trying to make your point with somebody that's going to be negative unless you figure out what's so negative about this person. So nicely and even professionally, you say, hey, you know what, Jim, it seems like we're all off today. Maybe, there are some things. Would you like to talk about something personally, or privately? We can get this all so we can all be on the same page and discuss it. This kind of tension everybody is feeling. Maybe it's something you'd like to talk about outside or after the meeting. And then, I'm here to help you as a friend. Okay, so that way, you feel for them. You can feel the negativity, but you don't know what it is unless they're willing to discuss it with you. Okay, because there's no use. If you're going to be in a meeting and you're butting heads with this person, it's so negative. Every positive thing, like you could have 10 people and 9 of them positive, and then you got this one negative person that just wants to be a stick in the mud. And, as they say, there's always one bad apple in the bunch. Well, that bad apple is not a bad apple because it wants to be. It's because something's going on with that person. And in order for it to be a unanimous decision about something important that you need to make as a business, then you need to talk to this person personally. Maybe not you. You don't know how to have open communication. Maybe find somebody they can talk to him to find out what's going on. Okay? Because 9 people in one is not fair. That's another negative thing. Okay, go ahead.
So, doctor, what if the other party doesn't want to open up? Exactly.
If a person is not open to opening up to his internal problems, okay, then it's a matter of time. That means whatever issue or concern they're going through, it's a personal thing outside of the business. Now, if it's inside the business that he's having a rough, a communication or relationship within the company, then if your company's big enough, it has HR, okay, human resources, then you need to have HR step in and say, hey, people in the meeting notice that you are off a little bit. Is there something that we can help you with? All right. So, don't take it on yourself. It's nothing personal that person's having with you, but it could be. You just don't know. And you can't guess. You cannot assume person is having a problem. I mean, it could be anything. Person could have broken up with somebody, having personal issues with their family or their friends. They just lost a bunch of money. There are all these personal things that makes a person negative. Okay, that person made us love everybody, and they need somebody to make them feel good. But making them feel good doesn't mean that you have to agree with them. No. That doesn't mean that. It means that you can understand what they're going through to help them through it. And if you're not in a position to do that, you get your human resources to speak to that particular person. Okay?
Okay. So what is the psychology? What is psychology in organizational behavior?
Organizational behavior is this. You have a hierarchy. So you have upper management, executives, you have team leaders, directors of departments, et cetera, et cetera. So each level has an open communication and understanding with what each person does at that level. Now, sometimes within the organization, the higher up executives, and it's unfortunate, they like to step on people below them and start micromanaging, and everybody hates them, but they want to keep their job, so they just do whatever they're told to do. Okay, so this is where a psychologist steps in to help the organization understand that just because you're up here making 500,000 pesos per month, and I'm down here making only 25,000 pesos a month, I'm still a person. Okay, I'm a human being. I have feelings. I have emotions. I am not your maid or housekeeper that you can just tell me to run and do things for you. Okay, you can ask me politely. You can be nice about certain things, but you do not talk to me. I am not your slave. And then vice versa, you can't have somebody down here thinking that they know everything up here and be a know-it-all. And, you think that you can do that so you can step up, and it doesn't work that way either. So an organizational psychologist will help everybody understand what each person's responsibility is within the organization. Okay?
How can psychologists contribute to business and corporations?
Okay. Can we go? Let's go ahead and take Teddy's question real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a question to Sir Teddy. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we proceed to our next topic. Okay. What should the techniques to new Z and X child generation? Yeah. The social influences public affects the personality development or by what they observe in their family itself.
Okay.
I think it's
Wow, Teddy. Good question, Teddy. Okay, you're going to put my psychology to the test here. I love this. Okay. All right. The techniques for new Z and X child generation, if you're going to talk about the baby boomer, which I am, and the new millennial, which is the new now, what everybody's thinking. Yes, generational upbringing and the way they raise people from before until now is completely different. I agree with you. Social influences, social media, social everything has, in a way, influenced the new thinking for the millennials. Now, if you were to ask me personally, millennials are probably the less, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're the less educated. What I'm saying is they like shortcuts. They don't like to waste a whole lot of time. They like to do things fast and get to the point and do things simply. The older generation worked hard because that's what their parents and their guardians would tell. Work hard and you get someplace, earn money, save, and everything. That's the old school. The new school is find quicker ways to do things so I don't waste a whole lot of time so I can have more fun. Okay. And yes, the social influence does, because everything now that's being promoted online is do it faster, do it easier, do it cheaper. Okay, so that's what the persona is up there. So what happens is this, the old school having to deal with the new school type of thinking is you need to understand each person's point of view. You cannot argue about how you raised, and you can't do anything about how you have been raised. Okay, so if you own a business, if we're talking about business here, if you're talking about socially, then that's another topic. But if you're talking about business here and you're old school, you have to influence the new way of thinking by saying, we used to do it this way, and the new way is doing it this way. However, the result is the same. So if the toothbrush was doing it manually back then, because that's where you had to work to brush your teeth right now, then the new way is buy an electric one, turn it on, put a battery on, and let the toothbrush work so you can just stand still without having to do this anymore. You see the new way of thinking. But what is the result? This is it. You get shiny, bright, clean teeth, no cavities, etc. I know that's a rough type of parable or type of example, but the example I'm trying to make is this. You cannot turn the new generation, new thinking into the way you thought in the old way. And vice versa. The new people, the newer generation, it's not that they don't accept it, but they just let it go because they want to do it their own way now. So how do you combine that type of thinking into becoming successful?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
I just said, you do when you make an example of your product or service that we used to do it this way. Now it's being this way. And the improvements we've made doing it this way comes out with the same result, bright, shiny, white teeth, although because of the chemicals and because of the strength of the chemicals within the toothbrush makes you an animal and makes your teeth whiter now than it used to be. You see? So the thought pattern says, yeah, so way, but the new way, that's great. And it still gets great results, plus a little bit better. It's improved, new and improved. Everybody likes new and improved. So that's the personality that if you're dealing with business has to be approached that way with a psychological marketing strategy. Okay, I hope, Teddy, that answers your question. If not, email me or contact me and I'll give you more specifics. Okay.
Yeah, because that's a problem. This times a lot of parents are questioning about the difference between the millennials and the Z and the X child generation nowadays. That the way they did the discipline is totally different, and it's I don't know how it really affects the generation nowadays, but when we are going to compare the past and the future, it's clear to me that it's totally different. Yeah. So but how could psychology help me in the future, doctor?
In psychology, actually, if you're going to take on a psychologist or the psychology way of thinking for your business, okay, you need to start now, okay, in order for your future to be brighter or to earn a lot more money in the future. And this is the reason why I say that now. I'm not saying go out and hire psychologists. All I'm saying is you can actually research psychology and business, and they will give you, there are a lot of tips and techniques and methods that you can use with your business right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much information online, you need to focus on the direct focus particular question you need to find out about your business. Doing it now sets up your future because you will learn each day or each second, each minute that you're in business. What works, what doesn't work, what's working now, and how long will it work for, and how often you need to change it, et cetera, et cetera. So psychology, you must stay in tune with the trends of your buying public, whether it's a product or service. You must be in tune and with what is the consumer looking for your particular product or service. As I said, you could have 10 hamburger joints right next to each other on the same street. I don't care if it's all McDonald's, all Burger, whatever, but say you open up your own mom and pop store, and whether you serve fried chicken and rice, and 10 stores right next to you sell fried chicken and rice, what is it that's going to be different about yours than theirs? Now, here's the thing. Sometimes that used to work. That actually was the old school. What's going to be different? What's going to make me unique with my fried chicken? So everybody offers mild fried chicken and spicy fried chicken. Some people, do other things with chicken, but what's going to be the psychological advantage for me to stay ahead of the market to earn more money? Well, that is all about how you promote and tell people with your ads, your promo, your colors, the packaging, everything else that's enhanceable. Okay. Now, because if you ask me, here's a real pure example. If you ask me what the best burger is out on the market, I would say Burger King, hands down. They grill it, tastes better on the bun. When you bite into it, that big Whopper, it's a great hamburger. Okay. But who else sells Burger King's hamburger? McDonald's. And to me, McDonald's has the worst burger. They did a blind survey test, and they always pick Burger King because it tastes better. But more people go to McDonald's. Why? Because of the big M, the toys, the color, their promos. They're always in front of people, smiling. And people like to go to places that people are smiling and inviting. Welcome to McDonald's. They're always so nice. But you go to Burger King, you don't hear that as much. Or you got those 10 stores, like I told you, chicken, 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 chicken. But everybody says chicken. Here's your chicken. But you go to this one store, it's like, hi, thanks for coming in. Hey, we got fresh hot chicken going right now. It's fried. I have it mild and spicy. It's great. Have a seat. Are you going to dine in? Are you going to take it out? Oh, that's wonderful. That's good. Are you buying for yourself? Have you always liked them? If you're friendly and outgoing, which makes you different psychologically, guess what? People go back to you than to anybody else that's just going chicken. Here's your chicken. Here's your chicken. Here's your chicken. It's an advantage of knowing your public. That's an advantage. Okay?
You're talking about the consumers. Okay. What is psychology in consumer behavior?
Okay. Their buying psychology or the behavior of people that buy are kind of seasonal. Obviously, during the holiday season, or how you guys call it here in the Philippines, everybody gets excited when they hit September because it's a BER month. Okay, so you guys start, the Christmas comes out, all the decorations and all that. So the attitude, your behavior, consumer is different. You're enlightened, they're excited. Holidays coming, we get to eat, we get to drink, we get to get drunk, we get to be happy, we get to buy gifts. Everything's happy. That's a behavior. Now, after the holiday, they're thinking, oh, there's no promos. But if you look at the behavior of people buying, it's like, okay, there's lots of leftovers from Christmas, sale, 100% off, 80% off, 70%. So it's a shopping spree after that. Then summer comes around, school. Kids are in school, then summer comes around, it's summer break, and the parents are thinking, oh my God, the kids have to go back to school. I have to save for this. So the buying behavior is different. They have the budget. They have to make sure they can buy the right school clothes, the book, the pencils, or whatever for the kids. You see, so that is your buying or the behavior of your consumer. The psychologist or the psychology behind that type of behavior works in the fact that you must understand those types of behaviors and how to promote your product or service. So if you don't sell school supplies during the school supply time, what is it that's going to keep your business afloat? Because if you're not selling anything for whatever product or service and everything in school supply, what can you sell to make sure your business stays here instead of going down and you wait till school time is over so you can pick up your business? Too many businesses fail to plan for those downtime. So rather than go into a downtime psychologically, if you think about it, whatever product or service, who are the ones that don't have to deal with school supplies and so on? So, they range between 25 and 45, the mothers and fathers that have to worry about kids. Yeah, those are the ones that are worried about making sure you have enough money. But what about 45 and up? And if you have a product and service that caters to them, I would increase my marketing, increase my outreach to the people so my revenue stays the same.
But how attract customers psychologically? How do we attract them psychologically?
Well, as I said, those people during the time that they don't normally buy certain products, you must entice and bring them in with whatever product or services catered focus to them. As I said, my example is if you have parents that have to buy school supplies, so their buying behavior is only about saving, make sure they have enough money for that. So they're not going to come to you because you're selling candles and scents and whatever the product is. I'm just picking out a product. So you're not going to attract them because all the people's money is going to go towards buying school supply. Now, however, what if you were to attract people that don't have children? Or people that are seniors, or people that are younger that don't have children. As I said, if you can attach that market, okay, and say to them, we have a great special during the back to school months. Our back to school months, our candles, aromatherapy are normally 500 pesos each. Right now, come and buy, it's 60% off. Get a candle for 300 pesos regularly, paying 500, 600. You're going to attract more people that way because they don't have kids to worry about the buying school supply. They have money. They have money. I go buy a candle. Or I'll buy the service. I'll buy whatever because I don't have to buy school supply. You see? So you have to know, strategically, with a psychologist and your marketing department, you have to know your trends and the buying behavior of your consumer. Okay?
All right. Yeah. But before that, we go into another topic. Let's have a break.
Okay. After the break, can we do that next video for me? Okay?
Yes, Dr. Warren. Okay. Stay tuned.
Kumusta uwi mo dyan, anak?
Okay, so we're back regarding the psychology of business. Yeah, so Dr. Warren, what's our next topic all about?
Well, before we go on that, could we cue up the next video? I'd like to give an insight of the mindset of business, people with business and business psychology. Okay, could we play that next video for me?
So let's watch this video.
I dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
If you have a dream, don't just sit there. Get your ass up and make something happen. Sometimes you just have to move. Do something. Make a call. Reach out to someone. Google something. Learn something new. Write down what you need to do in order to make a better life for yourself. And be brave enough to do those things.
I dare you to take a stand today to say no more. I will no longer accept this for my life. I dare you to take action today. I dare you to write your goals down and get someone to hold you accountable. I dare you to hold yourself accountable. I dare you. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream, to say no to all the negative influences. I dare you to pick up a book instead of a drink. I dare you to work harder than you think you did yesterday. I dare you to prove them wrong. I dare you to prove yourself right. I dare you to stand up as a man or as a strong woman, as whoever you are, and declare that you are going to claim a bigger and better life for yourself. I dare you to make something happen this week, to take massive action this week. Drop everything and do something. I dare you to walk more than you talk. I dare you to do good for the sake of doing good. I dare you to tell no one about it, to be kind for no reason. I dare you to spend time alone. I dare you to say no with pride. No to bad habits, to negative people, to wrongdoing. I dare you to speak your truth. I dare you to dream bigger, bigger than they told you was possible for your life. I dare you. I dare you to walk your own path, wherever that leads, whatever they say. I dare you to lock the world out for a week and work on you, work on your dreams.
You're well and truly capable of living at a higher level. If you do or you don't, that's up to you. Ask yourself, am I happy with my life exactly as it is now? Am I happy staying where I am? If you don't like the answer, get to work. Work on yourself. Work harder than you think you've worked in the past. More discipline, higher standards, more self-respect, more boundaries, less BS. More forward, less backward. More positive, less negative. Only those who dare to go after the life most don't have will ever have the chance of living a life most will never have. Only those who dare to fight for a great life have a chance to live a great life. What's it going to take for you to change? What's it going to take for you to realize your potential? What's it going to take for you to be proud? Proud of the person you are. Proud of your effort. Proud of the person you've become. What is it going to take?
Okay, there we're back. Yes, can you tell us?
I hope that helps to light a fire under everyone, whether you own a business or you have working a career, or even your personal or your social life. You know, it's important for people to understand that working on themselves is a priority over even, and some people don't understand that, even if it's your children, okay, or your spouse or your partner or your friends and family, it's important that you become successful, because then even your children and your spouse will see that success and feel the positivity from you. And then it just makes for a better situation and a better life for everyone. I wanted to go back to your last question, Reg. How do you attract customers psychologically?
Yes.
There are some things that you can do for your business in particular. One of them is to give gifts. And if you give something, you usually get something in return. For instance, come in and buy one, you get one free. Okay. Or if you buy so much, I'm going to give you this free. Okay. So those are things. And then, when you do that, you're also going to help, by looking at your profile and your photo on your website and stuff, make it more appealing, make it more friendly. So these are the things psychologically that you can do to help attract customers. And then also during the lean times, don't give people too many choices. Focus on one or two things that you have to offer, product or service, and concentrate on those, because you're going to make much more focused promotion out of those few products than to just give them too much. If you give people too much choices, then they will get to the point where, I got to think about it, so much to look at. Okay. And of course, if you have a product or service, you make sure that you're an expert. You become the consultant. You become the person when they ask a question about your product or service, you know the answer like that immediately. Like you've always been done it, you always had it. Also, when you're talking to somebody, if it's a physical promotion or physical sale, like you have a retail store or whatever, it's online, you have to talk to people over the internet like Zoom or whatever, you have to do it with emotion. I told you, I would say 99.9% of people that make a decision to buy, it is emotions. It's emotion. How it affects their life and how it's going to make them feel is what's going to make them buy. Okay. And then you need to be consistent with that. Meaning consistent, you just don't do one and done. One and done never works. It means you have to do a minimum 7 times, marketing for them to take. I made this example a couple episodes ago where advertisers, Jollibee, McDonald's, all you big people, they advertise on, you watch cable TV, watch TV or whatever. You see Jollibee every commercial break, probably 4 or 5 times an hour. Same thing with McDonald's, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Do they need to market? They make millions every minute around the world. That's how much that organization makes. But do they stop marketing? No. Why should you be any different with your business? Now, you're going to think, well, I can't afford to spend that kind of money. Ask yourself, can you afford not to spend the money that you have? Don't be just using your profit to go, hey, now I can buy a case of Ceramic Light. We can enjoy it. My profits now making a bunch of money. What if you were to take that profit that will help turn your business into 10 times more revenue? Then when you're making so much money, you don't know what to do with it, then you can treat the world with Ceramic Light and a bottle of MP Corridor, like whatever you want to do. But if you do it now and you waste your profit now, what are you planning for your future? Okay. So it's never one and done. It's you start today with your marketing. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. And you start today, you will become a multimillionaire or whatever, how wealthy you want to become in the near future. Okay. And of course, social media is not just making your presence out in the media. Social media is meaning that you're adopting a new family member. And that's where I think of.
Yeah. How do psychological tactics influence consumer behavior?
Well, that's a topic that actually is more involved than just telling you, what it will actually do. An ideal customer's feelings influence spending behavior. By appealing to positive desired emotions in marketing, a company can increase a customer's buying potential. Other psychological aspects used to persuade a consumer to buy include scarcity, reciprocity, exclusivity, and accounting for neuroplasticity. What's that mean is, I'll keep telling you this. People buy with emotions. And when you understand a person's buying emotions, you will be very, very successful because you'll focus your marketing and your target that way to really get to them in their heartstrings, to make them say, oh my God, I have to have that product. Oh my gosh, that service will help me tremendously in every aspect of my life. That's the attitude you need to think as a business owner, not just the money. If you're going to think money first, you'll never become rich. You'll never become wealthy. Don't think about the money. Think about making you who you need to be. So everybody is admiring, they respect you, and it's like, oh my God. Then people will like throw money at you. They will throw money at you. Oh, I want to be like you. I want your product. I want you. So here's more money. Here, take all I got. I want to give you everything because I want what you have. Okay, if you take on that psychological attitude, you will become very, very successful. Of course, be kind and be nice. Okay, I don't mean be an arrogant asshole and be, and then you get all this money and people get influenced by money in the wrong way, and then they eventually lose it because they don't know how to stay consistent with their emotion and their real feelings. Okay, all right.
Is marketing based on psychology?
Yes. Some people may argue that because they've only used marketing throughout their business life. However, if you look at the marketing strategies on how they use the right words and how they use the right colors and how they use the right demographics, all that is based on psychological research and finding. More people buy at this age than they buy at that age. More people buy this type of product at this age or at this time. More people buy, if they have this kind of income, they can afford to do this. Okay, everything is not based on just statistics. It's based on the psychological, when people, like the behaviors we talked about earlier, it's like seasonal. You have winter, spring, fall, and summer in most places in the world, and they have different seasons. Here is just wet and dry and hot. So you have different seasons and different times during the year that, people buy and don't buy. Okay, so all that is worked in with marketing and psychology.
Yeah. Why is social psychology relevant to marketing?
If you do not take the time, and this is my belief, and most businesses follow this belief now, or at least past 10, 15 years. Okay. If you do not approach, or take the time to research why the buyer buys when they buy, why a person gets a service when they get a service, that's all been done by understanding psychology, or the psychology is the way people think and how they organize their thoughts. Okay. So if you can tap into that and know what you can offer, then your business is going to be successful. If you don't, you're going to struggle.
What is the role of psychology in business and management?
Okay, the role of a psychologist, as I'll touch on again, but to more emphasize this is this. Okay, not all business owners understand why or how people think when they buy certain products from them or from other people. Why is it that if I'm I own a motorcycle repair shop and I have the exact same types of tools and products to help maintain my motorcycle, and I sit next to 10 other shops offering the same thing, why is it that shop down there has more of a following? They have a line around the block that people want to go there, when there are other shops here that can offer the exact same thing. And it's not, a lot of times, it's not how good your product or service is. It's all about how you sell. And the selling comes from psychological research and understanding your customers. They may have a better mechanic than you do. They may have, a faster process than you do. Maybe they're completely honest and don't mark up their products like you mark up their products, okay? Maybe they're available 24/7 in an emergency repair and you are not, okay? So, and then, maybe it's because they develop a relationship that they like, they trust them. They're going to be honest. When you bring your bike in, you're going to get the best care, the best service, and the best products for service. All those things, if you don't do your research psychologically, you are going to lose. You're going to lose. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I want to, if you don't have any more questions right now, I want everyone to understand this. When I came on and when Reg came on and reached out to me to do this type of series to help people psychologically with their business, with their career or their personal life or social life. Okay, I'm not here for any financial gain. right? I am a person that needs to pay it forward, and I'm doing it for myself, first of all, and secondly, for my mom. My mom passed away at 70 years old with cancer, and she told me, son, you've been a successful doctor and businessman for many years. Why don't you go to the Philippines, because she's never been here, and help my fellow Filipino. And I never charged for my services. I asked for donation. That's all, to help me, because I like to go out on outreach programs with religious sects here to help the poor, feed the poor, give them food, medicines, and vitamins. And I do, examinations for the kids and adults as well. I do this because I can see that the Philippines does not have to be a third world country. This country has so many good resources, and the intelligence here, whether it's in marketing, IT, it's amazing here. Why we're still at this stage, I don't know. I'm hoping to make an impact on people. And if there's any way I can help anyone, please do not hesitate to reach out. Just contact the station for my contact information, and you can sit down and talk to me anytime, 24/7. Now, I want to delve a little bit more into business psychology in this respect. Business psychology does not mean it's only focused on one type of business or a few types of business. If you have a business, whether it's a brick and mortar, meaning you have a stand-up store, it's out in public, you can drive up, they get out of the car and they buy your product or service, that's great. If you have an online business, ready to wear, or you have, in IT, you do web development or whatever it is, or marketing, it doesn't matter. All these types of business, or any types of business under the sun, psychology in business will apply to every one of them. I may have not touched on an area of your type of business, but everything I've discussed today with Reg applies. It applies. If you do not know if it really works for your business, or if it will work for your business, contact me. I can give you an unbiased opinion about what I see on your business, and I can actually do a projection of how much income or revenue you will get if you keep doing what you're doing, and or offer some improvements for you to help you out. Okay? So do you have any other questions, Reg? I can touch on something else right now that's going to be kind of important.
Question. Is there also a failure psychology?
What kind of psychology?
What is there also a failure psychology?
Well, psychology of failure, yes, there is a psychology of failure. It's not something that I talk about openly. However, there is a psychology of negativity, and psychology of negativity is a failure, personal insight failure. Now, if you want to apply it to business, yes, there is that as well. When you have failure in business, psychologically, what's happening is this. There's a misorganization, or within the organization, there's no communication. There's no understanding of what the roles are of each person in their company is. And usually those types of business do not last a long time. Okay? If they last longer than 5 years, in the U.S., I understand a person that opens business and holds on to it. Why? Because in the U.S., tax-wise, if they have a loss and if it's a negative business, they use that as a tax advantage so they don't have to pay taxes, okay, or don't have to pay as much taxes. So it's a liability that is a positivity in the U.S. Now, here in Philippines, it's not. If you fail in the business, you fail. You have no money, you don't complete needs, you don't finish up. Unfortunately, and maybe you can explain this to me, Reg, I have traveled driving around this country, and seeing so many of these nice residential developments only half done, or only 2 houses done. And some of these places I've seen for years, and they still haven't moved. Or maybe they put up 1 more houses. In the U.S., when you see a property development startup, boom, it pop up like weeds. People buy it, they get the houses built, and it's done. Here, if they run out of money, or it's not planned well, or the property development's not planned correctly, it dies. The weeds overtake the new houses that they just built a few days ago. I don't understand that concept in a lot of ways, but it seems wrong. You got this open, bare piece of land that people actually can either live on or build a business on, and it sits there in somebody's pocket for whatever reason it is. I have no idea. I have no idea. Then you see businesses that open up here. They're in a mall someplace, and then a year or two later, they're gone. You see them in a shopping center. They open a business. They're doing okay. You think they're doing okay, and then a year or two. And I'm not even talking pandemic. I'm talking they open a business. They get it started. Whatever the philosophy is about promoting the business and marketing, it dies. And then you have an empty shell of a retail unit or a business location. So there are a lot of things, and I know there's a lot of people here that want to open up a good business, whether it's online or offline. There's a lot of opportunity here, and it doesn't involve a whole lot of cash. Everybody thinks you have to have a whole lot of cash to open up, but there are ways that you can make proposals and business plans where financial companies and angel investors and banks will take a look at your projection of your business and will offer to help you get started. People don't ask about those ways and avenues to get a business started here in the Philippines, and I don't understand it. When I looked at your laws and about your business, the way that you can construct a business here, it's not that much different than in the U.S. And I've helped hundreds and hundreds of businesses start or maintain their business in the U.S. Getting a license, finding funding, and so it's very easy. Maintaining and marketing to bring in business on a daily, monthly, yearly basis, that's the struggle. But if you do it right and you plan it correctly, you can become successful as well. Okay. Any more questions, Reg? I know we covered a lot of things.
How does psychology relate to sustainability?
Yes. Okay. So people know the understanding and definition of sustainability. Sustainability means that you can run and consistently manage a business for more than 5 years. There's a time limit I put on that because it is statistically found and a true fact that if you can maintain a business for more than 5 years, that means you're doing something correct. That means you're making enough profit to stay alive in your business. So sustainability is that if you can get over the big humps and the big obstacles in your first 5 years to make it successful, more than likely you'll have a sustained business for a lifetime. However, if you do not keep up with the trends after 5 years, there is a good possibility you can also lose and lose in a big way. But if you get the right marketing people, you get the right people that work for you, your frontline salespeople, and of course, if you get the assistance of a business psychologist, that is your big advantage for that. Okay.
How does psychology benefit sustainability?
The psychology behind sustainability is that you have to keep the same mindset on an even basis, and the research in psychology has to be improved over time to sustain your business. And this is what I mean. What people think today may not be what they think tomorrow. And I'm just not generalizing just people. I mean, if you're going to talk about age group, like your marketing, demographics, you have age groups, you have income groups, you have men, you have women, you have children, you have teens. So there are different avenues that you have to look at psychologically in order for you to stay updated for what the trend is or what they're buying, what they're not buying. If you do not keep track of your business cannot run without you. And you have to be the brainchild of your business. Now, can you do this yourself as a business owner? Yes, you could. Would I want to do this as a business owner myself? No, I would not. That's why you need to hire the right people around you. Delegate and find people. Find good marketing people, good salespeople, good sales trainer, good human relations people, good people that are going to help make your business better. Surround your people with brains. I'm not the smartest guy in my corporation. Far from it. But I hire the smartest people around me. And they still don't make as much money as me because I take a profit share from their thinking, from their intelligence, from their aggressiveness and assertiveness to understand the market, to keep up with everything. I cannot do that myself. That's why you need to delegate and instruct people. This is our mission. This is our vision. If you
Yeah.
all work together, we'll all become wealthy. All right, let's work together. Sustainability is having the right team in place. Okay, and if you don't, if there's just one bad apple in that whole group, okay, you better find some way to improve that bad apple or make a nice tasting apple pie with them so he can be enjoyed by everybody. If you understand what I mean, then those are the things you have to work on. Okay, so that is how psychology works for sustainability. It's not an even thing. You just don't do the same thing every day. At least you're not going to do the same thing every week or every month. You're going to have to keep track of your business as it goes. Okay, it's all about. I mean, you take a product that everybody buys. They're canning, let's say, sardines, and everybody eats sardines in the world. And you see these manufacturing companies, and they're producing thousands or millions of cans of sardines every day. Now, what happens if the sardines or something happens to the water, the ocean, and they're not producing as much sardines? What do you think the owners are going to be thinking? Well, the stock shares goes down, the production goes down. So what are they going to do? They're going to look at other types of fish, not sardines, maybe salmon, something else like that, to bring them up to where they need to be. You need to stay updated on marketing trends about your product and service all the time. Okay, all the time. That's how you maintain sustainability in your business. Any more questions?
Yeah. But
Anybody out there that's alive and still kicking? I know I talk a lot.
have some questions here. If you have some questions, we have the chat box there. Yeah, you can jot down your questions. Okay, since you don't have we don't have a questions yet. Yeah, I have a question. Yo, what does sustainability means in mental health?
Okay, sustainability and mental health. Okay, that's a very very good question. And since I do therapy daily, in order for a person that's trying to improve their mental concerns, whether it be stress, anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
or phobias,
Mhm.
sustainability for them having therapy with me is that I remain a person that they can always talk to without without a biased opinion about what they're going to say, the reaction. Okay. If I can't sustain the way I treat people and talk to them, they're not going to sustain making sure our relationship stays the same for as long as it takes for them to improve their life or get cured or adapt or overcome a lot of their personal issues. Okay, so it's very important that I stay in touch with my patients, and it's very important that my patients stay in touch with me and that I am available for them 24/7. All right. So
Yes.
you have to understand when I get a patient that has such deep depression, and then
Mhm.
I start to, then they start to open up and talk to me. Talking to me, just because I'm a professional, means a lot more than talking to their mother, their father, their brother or sister, very close, because their opinions and what they advise them is going to be theirs and not yours. What
Oh,
I give you as my patient is a lot of time, patience, understanding, and I listen. I will listen to you talk for 45 minutes to an hour. Just saying, Doc, I had this day, it's great, everything's going good. Or, when I was eating, I felt this way. And all I do is interject a question of basically, I just say, well, how did that make you feel? How did
mhm.
that happen? So they can explain their feeling. The more a person can lighten their tension and load that they have within them and on their shoulders and heavy burden on them most of their lives, the more they can enlighten and release some of that negativity and realize that those things does not have to affect the way you're going to live the rest of your life. The more they can talk to me about it, the more understanding I am, sustains a relationship for as long as it takes. It could be months, it could be years, it could be tens of years. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
I've been doing this almost 40 years, and I have been with me 20, 30 years.
Yeah, there's there's a suggestion here, Doc,
Mhm.
that can we do uh, they are suggesting that for the next episode that we'll be having, if we can do online therapy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
from
I
the
do that every day. Yeah,
from
if in fact, if we
our
can open this up to be
yeah,
live,
they
so
can
if a particular
ask
person,
and join. Yeah, so they can ask and join us and seek
right,
advice from you.
right.
Yeah, so
I,
yeah,
Reg,
I
if you can set that up and people want to ask me live questions and I can give them live answers, I'll be more than happy to do that. However, there's a caveat to that. Okay.
uh-huh.
If somebody has a particular personal type of question that should be kept between that
Yes.
person and me, I would recommend that we set up a personal thing, a meeting or a session, because sometimes when you ask me certain questions, I may have to tell you an answer that the whole public shouldn't know because if it's in your particular case. However, if it's something about your mindset and how to get rid of negativity and get into a positive way of thinking, how to avoid toxic situations or toxic people, I can do that in a general way to help you so you can move forward. If it's about business, career, personal, social life, and everything, if you have a particular question like, hey, doc, I have this ad that I'm running, and some people will react to it. Some people give me really weird answers or the reaction to that. What do you think is wrong here? And then if you tell me what the question, I might say, well, in my opinion, I would probably rewrite it in 2 or 3 different ways. And then you can try to see if that works. Now, I can answer those types of questions. But if it's a personal thing that's a little bit deeper, then you set up an appointment with me online. I do online therapy sessions. You can come to my location too. I have an office available, but I do most of my therapy is online. But yes, that would be a lot of fun. If we can do a live interaction with people that want to ask me personal or business questions, I'll be more than happy to do that. But I'll let you set that up, Reg.
Yes, right. To all our televiewers, if you have some questions and suggestions, yeah, you can email us or you can jot down your questions or any problem that you wanted to consult to our doctor, Dr. Warren Pique. Yes, just oh, here, there's another questions from Sir Charlie Garcia. Okay, what are the top 3 factors in being successful in any kind of business? Okay,
All right. Okay. Number one.
thank you.
Okay. I'm
Sir
going to say
Charlie,
the number one
for the
factor is obviously your mindset. Okay. If you are convinced and you're positive that you can live your life starting today with only positive way of thinking and can avoid or block out all the negativity and toxic people in your life, then you can become successful in any type of business. Okay. Number two, the second one, it used to be that you have to have passion for the product or service that you want to offer the public. Okay. Now, it used to be that. If you, for example, here's why it doesn't work that way for everybody. Not unless you can find a click and focus on that particular area. For example, if you love juggling and you can juggle 3, 4, 5 balls, 10 balls at a time, and you're a great juggler, and you want to offer a video on how to learn how to juggle, okay? Now, you must understand, as much as that's your passion and you're so good at it, it doesn't mean everybody has the physical coordination in order to become a juggler, and you might even get some negative feedback. Oh, I tried it. I can't be a juggler. There's no way. This is crap. I wasted my money getting this instructional video. You say, but even though that's your passion. Okay. So that being said, the second factor to become successful in a business is find a passion for something that everybody will enjoy. Okay. That's it in a nutshell. It may not be your personal passion, but it can be a passion through research that people would enjoy knowing about. For example, if you think that you have the most delicious fried chicken recipe, no KFC and Jollibee cannot beat your recipe, and I have this recipe here, and if you buy it for 1,000 pesos, I guarantee you, once you make the recipe, no, you will not eat chicken anywhere else. You cook your own fried chicken from now on. Now, if you believe that's your passion, and there are a lot of people that will try it, and a lot of people will pay like 500 or 1,000 pesos for that recipe, go for it. You go for it. That's a passion that you may not be a good fried chicken maker, but you know that your aunt or your mom who makes the great fried chicken, I won't eat anybody else's fried chicken but my mom's, and you're going to try to market it. That's a passion you have because you enjoy fried chicken. Not that you're the best or the expert or master chef of making fried chicken. Because, if you go back and look at the story of KFC or Colonel Sanders, if you taste KFC fried chicken, to me, it's okay. But a lot of people think it's great. Some people don't like it, So you're going to get yes, no, and maybes out there with whatever product or service that you have. So find the second factor. Find a passion and research what people are looking for to buy, to buy or kind of service that you can offer. So that's the second factor. The third factor is not to give up. If you have the right mindset, if you have that passion for whatever product or service, do not think that whatever you put together marketing way is going to work immediately. You have to have patience. And you have to try everything possible. Because if you believe in your product or service, if you believe in yourself, then you will become successful.
Yes.
Now, look, I want to give you a product that maybe some of you understand or know about, or some don't. But there used to be two products, actually. One is the Pet Rock. You ever heard of the Pet Rock? What this person did is he took a rock and he painted a face on it. And he called it a pet rock, and the pet rock was used to hold paper down. That's what the pet rock was years and years and years ago was. Now, how can somebody be passionate about a pet rock, a rock that he paints a little face on it, and then he became a millionaire? Another product was the hula hoop. You got a ring, you put it around your waist, and you move your hips, and it does a lot of things for you physically, gets you in shape, and it's a lot of fun. But, was that person passionate about it? It was an accident. It just so happens they found a loop of some kind, and they were just holding it, and they walked a couple steps, and it went around their waist a couple times, and then they decided, hey, if I do this a little bit, hey, that's kind of fun. And the hula, they just developed that from the dance from Hawaii, okay, and they call it the hula hoop. Yeah. And then, of course, if you look at another non-passionate type of product, it's a sticky. Everybody has stickies. They put it on to make notes on to remind themselves of what to do. Did that person have a passion for making a sticky? Okay, so my point here is this. Find something that you've researched that people will want to buy as far as a product or service, and then you create the passion to get people to buy it from you. Okay. So those are the three factors: having the right mindset, passion for a product that people want, and of course, sustainability, or believe and have patience in order to market it in the world to be successful in any kind of business. So, Charlie, I hope that helped you. I hope that helped anybody. Okay.
What is a good business mindset?
A good business mindset is never stop trying. Okay.
Yes.
There's no question, just because I tell you to have a positive mindset, thinking positive, you're going to run into obstacles that are going to hold you back, or you're going to fall sometimes, you're going to fail sometimes. As long as you're falling forward, I tell people this all the time. If you're going to fail or fall forward, fail forward. Because then when you pick yourself up, you're going to count, you have 20 bruises. Then when you fail again, it's not so much. You pick yourself up. Now you don't have 20, you have 15. The less and less bruises that you have on your face because you keep failing and falling forward, that means you're so close to success. Okay, so close to success. So don't stop. Don't quit. Who are you quitting on? Are you quitting on everybody else? No, you're quitting on yourself. Don't quit on yourself. All right?
Yeah. All right. So it seems that we have a few few more laps to go.
Okay.
Anything to say to our audience, Doctor?
All right. I'm going to wrap up just like by telling everybody this. All right. The psychology of life, okay, which involves business, career, personal, and social life, is important for everybody to understand. It's not a science that's guaranteed. It's not a science that's written in stone. It's a science whereby everybody has a brain and everybody has thoughts. It's a science of organization. It's a science of understanding what is right and what is wrong. It's a science of understanding people's emotions, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what makes them angry, what makes them mad. Okay? It's a science of empathy. It's a science of sympathy. It's a science of just overall understanding what your purpose is of life. How you treat people is how you're going to get the treatment back. If you're going to be negative, if you're going to be down, depressed, and just overall not happy with yourself, how do you think people will see you if you have that type of character and that type of emotion or that type of thinking? As opposed to somebody positive, somebody that's uplifting, somebody that's encouraging, somebody that motivates you, somebody that understands your goals and what you want to achieve in life. Those are the people you need to be around. If you find people like that, those are the people that you want to aspire to be, or so you can create your own lifestyle, their own positivity in your life. You only have one life to live, folks. You have to live it to the fullest. Take advantage of all the resources and the people around you that only want to help you. If people don't want to help you, they don't deserve to be in your life. If people want to help you to be better, and you can do the same for them, you will be ultimately the most successful person in the world. Okay? Bar none. Bar none. Be happy within yourself. Then everybody around you will be happy and successful too. With that, I say God bless everybody, and I hope that we can have the interactive show next the next time. I on August 25th again for a couple of hours. We can open that up to an interactive where you can actually send in all the questions you want, and I will answer every one of them. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I would like to express my appreciation to our televiewers and sponsors. It's really an honor to be with you all. Thank you to our sponsors, Aaron for of Ace GFX. To our wonderful guest today, yes, Dr. Warren, thank you so much. And again, thank you for being with us today. Um, Always remember that a positive mindset does much more than raising one's spirits. It can improve health and quite possibly extend our life. Okay, once again, yeah, please follow us on our next topic at 98.4lovefm.org. Kindly mark your calendar for our next schedule on the 30 on July 30. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would like to say to apologize on July 30 that we will do the replay due to my schedule. I got a conflict schedule with FAMAS award. So it's the same time. So I have to be in the FAMAS award. That's why we will do the replay. But we will continue that topic about bartending 101. We will reschedule that. But yeah, for our next show this August, yeah, so you can check it on our website to all the schedules for August and yeah at 98.4lovefm.org. Yeah, and our other on our Weebly website. Okay, so hope to see you then again. Once again, this is Reg Rodriguez. God bless to all and thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.